mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Hello, friends. Welcome back to the show. Man, have I got a throwback episode for you. I met Sarah Gromko back when flannel was a fashion statement and Binghamton theater majors like us ran the world. At least so we thought. We were loud, broke, and allergic to normal. She stayed that way, thank God. And she's here today in studio. It is our epic theater nerd reunion celebrating the land upstate known as Binghamton. Today, she's a vocalist, composer, and speech-language pathologist who helps people reclaim the one thing healthcare tends to steal, their voice. She's lived the full circuit: Mississippi, Binghamton, Manhattan, New Orleans, Connecticut. Every stop turned chaos into melody. She is an extraordinary singer and an incredible talent. She trains people with aphasia to speak again. She helps trans clients find resonance and reminds the system that speech therapy is not paperwork. It is truly an art form. We talk about music, memory, language, and the requisite worship of Wegmans, and why the world returned itself from healing to hustle. Sarah is proof positive that sound can resurrect the soul even when the body quits. I'm Matthew Zachary, and this episode is not sponsored by Wegmans. I'm so excited to see you. It's been way too long.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me over here.
I love that there's such an odd camaraderie amongst the musical theater nerds from the 90s that I could meet anyone at any time. And it's like, hey, I haven't seen you in 20 years, but hey, it's like yesterday.
I know, totally.
Yeah.
That's exactly the way I feel whenever I see anybody. And it's so funny, when I was coming into the city from Connecticut, I was thinking, I used to live in this city for over a decade, and so did everyone else, but I never really saw anyone.
Right.
We would just like run into each other and be like, hey, what's up? So good to see you. And just as if we're going to see each other whenever we want.
It was like very Sex and the City without the sex. It was just like the city.
The city.
It was just the city. That's really odd. Wait, when did you expatriate upstate?
Well, I had a long journey to upstate.
Okay.
But
upstate being Connecticut, really. Not really like Albany.
Yeah, but right. I know what New Yorkers mean.
The upper state to the right.
Right. And it isn't really that far north, actually. But yeah, I went to New Orleans for about 9 years.
I have that in your resume. Like, I was like,
my resume.
Of course, you went to Louisiana University, right?
I went to, Southeastern.
Because that was part of my like culture shock of the Sarah. It's like, how the hell did that happen?
Well, you know that I went to high school in Mississippi.
Yes.
So it wasn't, that far off for me to go back down there.
But I mean, like from there to Binghamton to Manhattan to there to Connecticut, you're like a photo's guide.
Yes, I could draw maps of the entire United States and probably sell them for a lot of money. Cross off all the parts not to go to.
And every Wegmans along the way.
Oh, well, you know what? I only know the Wegmans in Binghamton.
Right? Really?
Yep.
Oh, you poor thing. At least you know it, though.
There's supposed to be one opening in Connecticut. It's all the rage. Everyone's talking about it.
Okay. Anytime I have anyone on the show who I went to school with, it's like half the show's about Wegmans.
Oh, okay. Well, I will relieve you of that duty.
Okay.
Today.
Great.
Unless you want to talk about it.
I mean, they're never a sponsor. Hey, Wegmans, I know you're listening. Why don't we a sponsor of the show?
Well, Wegmans, I just want you to know everyone's excited in Connecticut. We can't wait to meet you.
There you go. I will tag them in the posts.
Okay.
Hey, listeners, if any of you like Wegmans or work for Wegmans, tell them. Oh, my God. It was part of my orientation. It's like, you're going to Wegmans. Here's Hinman.
Yeah.
Here's the lecture hall. Here's Wegmans.
Yeah. The very first night I got there, my suite mates just all piled me into a cab and we all went to Wegmans.
That's it.
Yeah.
Rite of passage. How did you get to Binghamton, by the way?
I was trying to get as far away from my parents as possible from Mississippi, and they promptly moved to...
Bangor, Maine was too far, I guess?
Well, Binghamton is an exceptional school.
Yes, it is.
It is the Ivy League of public colleges.
You're like a publicist for them now? I agree, but still.
My dad still sends me little texts and stuff saying, hey, Binghamton is in the top, whatever, of colleges.
Still relatively affordable if you live in the state, though.
I wouldn't know. I don't have kids,
Right.
thankfully. So.
And you didn't come from the States.
Right. So I was paying
Irrelevant
Appalachia
opinion.
anyway. Right.
Know your crowd, Matt. Right. So again, you've been doing. You're like the kid that always was destined to be on stage. I remember that about you when I first met you. You're like instantly, you were like your SNL. Like this was it for you. I know this young woman, same age as me. I know this person who's my age. Instantly, I remember vividly meeting you, and you just had this zhuzh to you. And I'm just again digging into your past because I know you, but like I didn't know you before I knew you.
Right.
This has been in you since you were a little kid.
Yeah, it really has been. I guess that's sort of where I was allowed to be myself.
Yeah.
A total goofball. So I'd be really quiet in class, and when I got to actually be on stage for a reason, I'd let it all loose. I have since doused my personality as much as possible so that everyone around me will be comfortable because it's not college anymore.
Well, you have to learn to, again, know your audience.
Right, exactly.
What I learned at school, I didn't do any acting. I just did all the surrounding stuff, musician, music director. And the theater of it all is no one cares what you say. It's how they need to feel based on what you want.
Exactly. And that's the key to speech language pathology, too.
Yes.
I'm sure that your wife has told you that.
Yes.
That especially people with dementia, they're going to not remember the content of what you said, but they're going to remember the way they felt when you said it. So, yeah, I'm always trying to.
Yes, and?
Exactly.
Bingo.
You got it.
Everything's an art. I mean, you work in the arts. Technically, SLP is an art.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a medical practice, but it's an art. And I came to appreciate that. As you mentioned, my wife is an SLP. And she let me know on our second date when she said, "You have a tongue thrust." Like, thanks. Who are you again? Why are we dating? But you're kind of cute. Okay, let's do it.
If it makes you feel any better, I have one too.
Okay, great.
Which I found out when I was in school.
Oh, okay. Were you diagnosed by an SLP?
Well, I wasn't diagnosed. Well, I wasn't an SLP yet, but I diagnosed myself.
You did? Okay.
Yes.
That must be fun.
Yeah, it was embarrassing. I didn't tell anyone.
It's like being a crazy shrink.
Yeah. Well, isn't every shrink crazy?
I guess you
isn't
have
that
to
the reason to go into the profession?
You have to need a shrink to be a shrink.
Right.
I totally agree with that. Have you watched the Shrinkage show on Apple with Harrison Ford?
No.
It's really, really good.
Yes, I have.
Yes.
This is the thing with that tall guy.
Yes.
Yeah. No, it's really inappropriate.
Of course it is.
Holy cow.
Have you watched television recently?
Well, I mean, like the relationships of the clients with their with the psychologist is just like, holy cow.
Yeah, yeah.
No wonder that woman killed, spoiler alert, or pushed her
You just
husband
ruined
off the-
everyone watching that show for season 3
No
or
one
whatever.
died that I know of.
Yeah, exactly.
No one died.
Okay. No spoilers on the show. Wait, so how did you wind up wanting to do SLP work out of school?
Well, I was working in the music business after school.
Yeah, I remember you went into the music. You did what you were studying.
Yes. Yeah. So I went to Berklee College of Music and I studied film scoring, and I went and did that for a while in New York, just in post-production, not actually scoring, but working on scores and stuff and doing all kinds of stuff in the music business. I moved to New Orleans to continue that. And then I realized no musicians down there have any money. So it's hand to mouth. So working for musicians wasn't really going to work for me. So I was like, all right, what am I going to do? And I said, well, I'm a vocalist, so why don't I do speech language pathology? And that's where I decided to go. And I am so happy. I'm so happy.
Anyone that I met who does SLP work, it is a very self-fulfilling career, correct?
Yeah. It's I have so many different etiologies that I see each day. It's never boring, ever.
Did you ever get to pick the patients you want to help, or you assigned to them based on an employment relationship?
Well, I recently left the hospital system where I was working for a few years, and I went into private practice. So yes, now I can choose. I can pick and choose.
Gromko Inc.?
Well, it's Gromko Voice.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
there you go. I see the trends.
Yes. Now, there's always going to be voice, because voice doesn't have to just mean singing voice. It means your ability to communicate.
Do you operate in like an IEP setting at the time with like other OTs or PTs, or was it all speech?
I have currently,
Yeah. Or in the past.
In the past, it's never been IEPs because I've always worked for adults.
Okay.
Except for one very tragic few months where I would cry in my car before I went into work every day.
Okay.
But yeah, when I'm working with adults, yes, it was at my last job, it was with PTs and OTs in the same clinic. But now it's going to be all speech language pathology at mine.
Got it. Yeah, my wife works in a school for a nonprofit organization since I met her, at least 25 years. And she's very happy. You know, I mean, as much as you can always find interesting characters who you work with in any setting at this point in time, she's really had a good cohort group of friends and colleagues, and she's made some really lasting friendships. And every day is another, like, you won't believe what happened today.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's so hard to not tell your spouse about your crazy person that you saw that day without identifying anything.
Well, it's always some kind of like, you know, our secrets like with us, secret codes of this happened and then this happened and this happened. And then, you know, so she works in a very fragile environment with pediatrics. So, you know, there are deaths and there are ambulances and there are nurses every day and there are feeding tube issues. And, you know, again, it's its own little microverse of God's work.
Yeah.
What have you seen? I'm privy to a lot of the things because she just tells me, oh, there's a new device where you stare at it and you could point your eyes and those are looking at you. So she said, well, that's super cool. Do they do that kind of stuff in adults as well? Yeah,
absolutely. So Steve Gleason actually was, I don't know if you know him, football player for the Saints.
No, that's a sports thing.
Yeah, well, he developed ALS and he created this foundation where it makes those AAC devices accessible to anyone with ALS.
What is AAC? Assistive something?
Yeah, alternative augmentative communication
there you
device.
Go.
And
I just hit the acronym button.
But it's really cool because if you have ALS, like if you catch it early enough, you can actually bank your own voice. So when you are using the eye gaze for the machine to talk, it will use your voice.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear my own voice. Do you like the sound of your own voice?
Yeah.
You do? Yes. You might be the only person that... I just did a keynote and someone sent me the YouTube. I'm like, no, I'm going to watch it with the volume off. I hate my voice.
Well, I have to like my voice because I force a lot of my patients to listen to their own voices because I do so much voice work.
Yeah.
So it takes, you know, a few sessions for them to get over that fact and sort of listen objectively. So I can make fun of my own voice so that they feel a little more comfortable.
You have a HIPAA-friendly success story you can share?
HIPAA-friendly success story.
Like we will protect the names of the innocent for sake of patient data.
Well, I think the most significant to me was when I was actually in school and I was doing an externship at a neurogenic rehab place in New Orleans. And I don't know if you know what aphasia is.
Yeah, I actually, there were 3 words that you wrote down that I knew what they were because my wife uses them. Apraxic, aphasic, and dysarthric.
Yes.
Because I have dysarthria.
You do?
Yes, I do.
From the brain injury?
It's a late effect from my radiation.
Oh, yep. Yeah, and I actually help people who have been through cancer treatments as well with some of that stuff. But when I was a little hatchling, even though I was in my late 30s, and I was treating this kid who was, I think, he must have been 16 years old, and he had suffered a gunshot wound to the head.
Oh, dear.
And he lost his ability to speak. And we were working with him, and he loved Drake. And so we would listen to Drake in the therapy sessions. And I eventually realized, oh, well, maybe I can use this specific technique called MIT, which is Melodic Intonation Therapy with him, so that I can actually get him to say words intelligibly. And I taught him how to say, I love you, Mom, by saying, I love you, Mom, just by taking his hand and just moving like that. She came into the room and we showed her what I did. And she just went back to her car and was crying and crying.
I think it just speaks to, this would be a cat poster, the healing power of music. But if it's applied in a way that makes sense with evidence, works 100% of the time.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's not like a deniable science. It's a real thing.
Right. And the cool thing is with MIT, the way it works is that the left side of your brain is where your language is stored, but the right side of the brain is where your music is stored, exactly in the same spot in your brain on the temporal lobe. So you're actually you're moving the neurons from the right side of the brain over to the left side of the brain to help you speak.
Yes. I mean, I remember we did a show on, I've had anyone and everyone on the show that's relevant to just having a great conversation. And the whole idea of dementia versus aphasia, those are different things.
Very.
And people do confuse them. And I know that for a fact.
Yeah. And they did that with Bruce Willis when he developed aphasia. They said it was a cognitive issue. And I just went nuts and got on every radio program to make sure that I clarified that it doesn't mean that you've lost your intelligence or your ability to think. It's way worse than that.
Yes, it is. It is way worse.
You can think and you can formulate thoughts, but you can't say them.
All right, so for the Merriam-Webster portion of the show, apraxic, define it for the listeners.
Apraxic means that the parts of your mouth that are used to shape your words are not working, not because they have a muscle issue, but because the motor cortex of your brain that controls that is a little scrambled and isn't able to make that sequence, that very complex sequence of forming words.
And aphasic, we just mentioned that, is?
Aphasia is usually caused from a stroke, some sort of brain injury on the left side of your brain where there's, it could happen depending on where on the left side of your brain, it can affect your reading, your writing, your ability to express language, your ability to understand language. It can be pretty tragic.
And dysarthria.
Dysarthria is simply the motor movements of speech. So rather than it being a brain injury, it's actually a cranial nerve injury.
Yep. And then, of course, speech language includes swallowing.
Yes, it does.
It's not just your mouth.
Right.
It's the whole damn thing.
Yeah, the way I describe it is it's everything from here. I'm pointing to basically my sternum up.
Yes. Because I have something called dysphagia.
Oh, dysphagia, yeah.
Yeah, dysphagia. Am I mispronouncing it?
Well, I've heard people pronounce it dysphagia. The reason why I don't pronounce it that way is because in Great Britain, dysphagia actually means aphasia.
Oh.
So I like to make sure that I'm saying...
Stupid England.
Yes, it's all their fault.
Everything's their fault. Have you watched Hamilton? It's my daughter's favorite show. I keep number 7 is just on endless repeat.
Oh my gosh.
John Adams. That's all we do. That's all we do in the house.
Well, I'm so glad that the musical theater is still alive and well in your household.
Oh, she is not the nerd that I am, but she really does appreciate a good Broadway show.
Cool. How old is she?
She's 15.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is she planning on going to Binghamton?
Honestly, it's at the point where I'm not going to do we can't tell them where to go. Fuck, we can tell them where to go. I'm in charge. You
just said a bad word. Kyle.
Have you met this? No. Kyle loves fuck. That's the show. No, we want to give them a little autonomy, but we're not going to tell them what to do. But Binghamton still is an amazing catch-all school.
Absolutely. Yeah, I really love how many classes I was allowed to take in so many different parts of scholarship.
Yeah.
Is that the word?
Did you get a scholarship there?
No. I mean, academia.
Oh, the academic, pedagogical.
Exactly.
Words.
And actually, that's where I started to develop my obsession with linguistics, because I was taking a lot of linguistics classes at the time.
Well, let's take a quick break.
Okay.
And we'll come back and talk more about my favorite school in the world,
Binghamton.
So I correct me if I'm wrong, but when you started, were you the first members of the rhythm method?
I was in the second cohort, I think, maybe the third year they were around.
Right, because when I started, they didn't exist. It was the Binghamtonics.
Right.
It was the Crosbys. And then this other group showed up. Oh, the Binghamtonics. right?
Yeah, I think you need to explain to your listeners what we're talking about here.
We're talking about the a cappella groups. Thank you for clarifying that.
The rhythm method was not a sexual act.
No, but it was a good point. I buried the lead, okay, as I scratched my chin. But it was just the most brilliant a cappella name to bring out there.
Eric Shimanoff is a genius.
Yes.
And he was acknowledged on Wait, Don't Tell Me.
No way.
They actually, Anna Kendrick was the host.
How the hell did he get on Wait, Don't Tell Me?
Well, he wasn't on it, but the rhythm method was. They said, which of these three a cappella group names is real?
Oh.
And it was the rhythm method.
That is amazing.
And she said there's absolutely no way that any college kids are that clever.
It was the same. I mean, the Binghamtonics, I get it.
Yeah.
The Binghamton Crosbys, I kind of get it. But the rhythm, I mean, it was just chef's kiss.
Yeah.
To Eric.
Well, when I heard about the Binghamton Crosbys, my dad and I were sort of joking around that we thought that the all-girls group was going to be the Binghamton Cherries.
Yes.
But
and yet they weren't.
No.
But like you found a home with the a cappella groups.
Oh, yeah. I was looking back on it and talking to people. I realized that I was sort of like a mascot for the rhythm method. I was into it.
Yeah. I mean, it was also very original. I mean, you know what you were getting with one or the other.
Yeah.
And then like in Pitch Perfect when it came out, like, I know. My favorite movie. That and Prada, but really more Pitch Perfect.
And so isn't that awesome that Anna Kendrick got to spot rhythm method?
I mean, did it have to do with the fact that she was in Pitch Perfect? That was relevant?
That is exactly why they chose that as one of the questions for her.
That is a phenomenal question.
I know.
I like to talk about people that help kind of make us who we are. And for me, it was Sue Peters, and you had Don Boros.
Oh yeah.
So I want to pay tribute. Is Don still alive? Still with us? I don't know. Sue passed away a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I'm not sure about Don.
Well, I want to pay tribute to our mentors.
Yeah.
So talk about Don.
Oh, gosh. You know, I've been thinking about him recently a lot more. I'm not really sure why. One of the things that's really memorable about him is that he one day picked up an old record of someone actually reciting Finnegan's Wake, like an old school audiobook on LP.
Yeah.
And he put it on and he was walking around the house and he could not believe the sounds of the actual text.
Yeah.
And he said, this has to be read aloud. It's not something that you can just read on the page. So he sponsored this wake where it was literally 24 hours of people reading that book, and people would sign up, the students would sign up for time slots. It went round the clock. And oh man, that was really cool.
And again, for some backstory, he was the man of theater.
Yeah.
At Binghamton.
Absolutely.
He was one of the most creative guys I'd ever been inspired by, from his vision and his set design. So Don Boros to me was like the Julie Taymor of Binghamton. And those who don't know who Julie Taymor is, she's the luminary theater goddess that brought like the Lion King to life. She had this tremendous vision for the psychology of scenery and costume design and positioning and choreography. I mean, I didn't do a lot with Don because I was more on the musical theater side and not the stage side, but I just wanted to take a moment to rep the people who made us who we are.
Yeah, absolutely. I learned everything I know about the history of theater and art and everything. The basis is from him.
Yeah. So thank you, Don Boros. Thank you,
Don.
Susan Peters. We hope you're still with us, Don. Rest in peace, Susan Peters. But she was a fucking jukebox of musical theater history. You took 101, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. And I remember she had Stephen Sondheim's number posted on her door.
She did. She could like cold call Stephen Sondheim in his Greenwich Village apartment anytime, and she never did. And I always wanted to meet him. And when he died, I'm like, Sue Peters.
Why didn't any of us call that number?
Maybe we were too busy getting berated for not being good enough.
True. I bet Adam Cohen called.
I'm willing to bet Adam Cohen
Yeah.
definitely called him. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
When is he going to be on the show?
We've been trying.
Yeah?
You know, I mean, so for the listeners, Adam Cohen, another dear friend of mine, we met, a super ultra theater nerd guy. He has his own like little theater group upstate, New York upstate, not Connecticut upstate.
Yes.
And I've always admired his unbridled creativity.
And enthusiasm.
And he wrote musicals. And remember the O Manhattan musical he wrote?
Oh, yeah.
With Kevin? Yeah, like we're going to pull a clip from the O Manhattan.
Hoboken.
Yeah.
That song.
It's the one where they make fun of the Jersey cities.
Yes.
All right, we're going to pull a clip from the Hoboken song just for the listeners to just show how insanely creative this band was.
Oh, my God.
Hellhole called Hoboken, Hoboken, where I must live out the rest of my days. Hoboken, Hoboken, I'll have to get used to their primitive ways. You won't find civilians respectable. Mediocrity is more than acceptable. You'll rarely find someone well-spoken. In Hoboken, Hoboken, Hoboken.
Yeah, he's overdue for the show. I feel like this is like a Binghamton tribute show
Yeah.
at this point now. But I feel like I need to ask you kind of like a personal recompense question. I didn't get to go to grad school because I got sick. Mm-hmm. And I was supposed to go to USC Film School to study with Jerry Goldsmith.
Oh, my gosh.
That was my plan in the beginning of my senior year, because I went out there with my dad and I met with the whole team and I submitted my orchestrations, and I didn't really officially like apply, but I was put on the list to apply, which would have been in the spring, to get approved after I graduated and start the next year. That is what I wanted to do.
Oh.
I'm way over. It's 30 years at this point now, but I always... It wasn't envy. It wasn't anger. Like all the friends who did what they were supposed to do.
Like Micha Lieberman.
Like Micha, and if you knew my friend Michael Babcock, who was Michael Van Allen's friend.
Ah, yeah.
He went off to...
oh, yeah, he was doing Family Guy?
Yes.
Yeah.
He was won 1,000 like Oscars for like his work in film and television. And then you went off to Berklee. And there wasn't anything negative. I was like... I want to know what it was like to go to film school.
There is no way you possibly did not have anger or envy over that. I would have been so ticked off.
All right. I'll give you a little asterisk on that because I was too busy trying not to die.
Yeah.
And it was only in hindsight that if only I did this, but I'm happy it happened. It's a weird way to say it.
Yeah, look at you now.
Bald and beautiful.
And very happy in this beautiful studio in New York City.
It's just the oddest way to look back and reflect on when shit happens.
Yeah. I'm applying for a doctorate right now. And
Well, you're not good enough?
Well, I haven't submitted the application, Northwestern.
Oh, boy.
But yeah, it just makes you like go over your life's journey to see, why am I here now? And every single thing in my life has led me to where I am today. All of these things that I thought, why did I do that? That was dumb. Why did I have to do that? That didn't pan out to anything. And now I'm getting to do all of my specialties in one fell swoop professionally.
I'm going to turn you on to the Hermetic principles.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to give you some homework on them.
Okay.
Hermes, the non-Greek god, the regular Hermes, had beautiful philosophical machinations on how the universe works in pre-idol worship times. And he has these principles, which I don't remember all of them, but there are, I think, 7 or 8 of them. And one of the ones that made sense to me the most was the law of opposites. And that there are no opposites. And it's this dogmatic belief that there are only variants of the exact same thing in different measures.
Hey, I'm on board with Hermes.
Right. So chaos is just the absence of order. And order is the absence of chaos. There is no point where large becomes small.
Right. That's true.
Right. So everything has to be balanced out with the other part, which is the law of attraction. Which actually goes back to fundamental musical harmonics and frequencies and octavations. Octavations, not activations.
Okay.
And it's fascinating study. I dug really deep into it. It's very scientifically backed as someone who works, in healthcare and in
audiology,
medical arts.
yeah.
So I didn't find it terribly woo-woo to have I hope. It's like this just makes fundamental sense about frequencies and modulations and resonations. And that's basically how the law of attraction works, which is frequencies seek each other out from opposite perspectives of the law of opposites.
Ooh.
And our intentions and our thoughts create frequencies and vibrations in the universe, which ties in like chaos theory and string theory.
So what about all the people who are so in their heads they refuse to obey their body's natural rhythms?
That is probably too dogmatic for me to think about answering right now. But if you really want to go down the well, and this is where kind of like it gets a little gray for me, is that the universe doesn't give you what you want. It gives you who you are.
I love that.
And yes, bad things happen to good people, but that is the law of opposites. There can't be world peace because then there'd be no world evil.
Right. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And that's
Blowing
chaos
my mind,
theory.
Man.
I'm telling you, just a quick note. I mean, everyone now knows what I believe. I'm Jewish, but Buddhist. Like, it's a weird way to think about manifesting what you believe, what you want to wake up with and believe. You know, whether it's scientific or academic or agnostic or whatever it is. It's like I found a way to square the circle. That music, harmonics, and frequencies are really what drives chaos theory.
Wow, that's really cool. And I work a lot with harmonics and formants and frequencies in my voice work because I do a lot of gender affirming voice work as well.
Right.
Where I'm modifying the resonance of people's voice, not just their pitch, so that it matches what the listener perceives to be more feminine or masculine.
I'm going to blow your mind with one more thing.
Okay.
And this is a real story. This is not a conspiracy theory. You can Google this. It's in the archives. It's been studied. Up until the 1940s, the universal frequency for A was 432 hertz.
What do you mean universal frequency?
There was no A440 until World War II.
Why?
Because the world tuned A to 432, which is the natural resonant frequency of the planet.
Now, I totally believe that.
Yes.
So why'd we go to 440?
Because Rockefeller,
Damn
Rockefeller, again, we'll put a link in the episode notes. This is a real thing. I'm not making this up. It's not a conspiracy.
All those rich guys.
Rockefeller basically stole the planet's standards and made the United States the proprietor of world resonance and made A440 the standard. Europe revolted. South America revolted. But at the end of the day, the freaking United Nations agreed. And the whole world retuned every instrument to 440. And the reason, which is partially conspiratorial, was by changing the frequency, humanity would no longer be connected to spirit, but connected to work.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Now that is a conspiracy theory I can get behind.
I don't think it's a conspiracy. We'll look it up. I'm serious. Like I've read about it.
So he purposefully disrupted our naturalness.
Yes.
In order to make sure that we were uncomfortable and working for the man.
I don't need people to think. I need people to work is his exact quote.
Holy cow.
So A440 has become the world standard since the 1940s.
But don't they, like in Hungary and Germany, they still tune it down?
It depends on the orchestra. It depends on there's no way to listen to something by Bach from like 1820, right? Because everything recorded has been upstreamed to A440 at this point now, and all the music. Maybe you find, I don't know, some kind of like phonographic recording on what are those things called with the giant
Victrola.
A Victrola.
I have one.
No, of course you do.
I just bought one at an antique store.
Of course you do. Exactly. But anyway, I wanted to kind of like wrap the show up with this beautiful way of thinking about how music, sonics, frequency, it has such even today, maybe completely, we've only known like 4% of what it can do for humanity and our species.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, my gosh, that Rockefeller.
I know. Fuck that guy. I typically end my show by feeding information into my chat GPT that I've trained.
Ooh.
And I let it know the person I'm talking to and my relationship with them, what I've learned about you, which was more than I even knew about you. And I knew tons about you after 30 freaking years. Yeah. And I ask it a question. I say, what 3, if you were a Netflix series, who would play you, right, based on a composite of 3 pop culture figures?
Ooh. And it gave you the answer?
It gave me, well, you're going to tell me if it's right or not, but okay. I think it did a pretty good job.
I already know who it is.
All right. It says you are Laurie Anderson.
Whoa! Oh my God!
Because you have voice as instrument, mixing narrative and technique.
Oh my gosh!
You are Toni Morrison of literature.
Holy cow!
With a deep understanding of voice, identity, and transformation.
Do you suck your ChatGPT's dick?
I do. And you are, and I agree with this, might be a stretch, you are the old school Bonnie Raitt.
Oh my.
Bluesy voice, genre crossing, ultimate strong authenticity.
Holy crap.
Chat did good, huh?
Well, I don't know if any of that's true, but man, that is like the biggest honor I could possibly imagine.
It's what it thinks you are, and I agree with it.
Well, I just thought that Joan, what's her name? Cusack would play me in my biography. But.
You know what? I think she'd do a good job emulating Bonnie, Laurie, and Tony.
That's true. I'm going to go straight home and listen to Oh, Superman.
Oh, my God. My favorite Joan Cusack moment of all time was from In and Out with Kevin Kline, when right after he abandons her at the altar and says he's gay, she runs to the bar, sits next to Tom Selleck, says, "Would you sleep with me?" He says, "I'm gay." And she runs out into the street and screams, "Is everybody gay?"
That's right. That's right.
Bless her for every amazing role she's ever had. But is everybody gay? Yelling in the streets after Tom Selleck telling her he's gay. You can't beat the Oscar shit.
Is Tom Selleck really gay?
No, his character in the movie was.
Okay.
Yeah, Tom Selleck is like the most cis man on the planet.
Think so. Yeah. All that hair.
We need the mustache back. But, Tom, if you're listening, Magnum needs your mustache.
Yeah, grow it back, man.
Yep. My God, Sarah, I could do this we could talk for hours, but, my listeners have a tolerance for my voice.
Yeah. Sorry, listeners. You can't hear me anymore.
But yeah, we'll put clips in the notes to all your amazing stuff.
Awesome, thanks.
And if you have any links to your singing, I know you're a beautiful singer. Anyway, yeah, Sarah Gromko. What vocalogist? What would you call yourself?
Yes, I am a registered vocalogist.
I love that term. Thank you.
I am a recognized vocalogist. It's not registered.
Not registered?
No, I'm recognized by the Pan American.
Recognized vocalogist. All right, give us your favorite voiceover and take us out of the show.
Thank you for joining us on Out of Patience with Matthew Zachary.
Out of Patience with Matthew Zachary is a production of Matthew Zachary Worldwide. The executive producer is Matthew Zachary. It is mixed and edited by Kyle Moore. If you like the show, ratings and reviews are always welcome wherever you get your podcasts. If you have guest suggestions or would like to learn more about sponsorship opportunities, email podcast@matthewzachary.com. For more information about Matthew Zachary and Matthew Zachary Worldwide, visit matthewzachary.com.